for fascia tightness, or if there's muscular soreness, or it can also cause low back pains in the hamstring. So it's, yeah, you might want to work the hamstrings for low back pain as well. And also for knee pain, because the hamstrings come around to the either side of the knee, so you can work the insertions for knee pain. And we have a cross hands technique. The first thing, you want to demo that? Or do you want me to? Okay, so with the cross hands technique, you find the ischial tuberosity, and then you go sort of below that, and so switch hands there, and then you find, what's the ischial tuberosity? Yeah, the glute, the edge of the glute. I was like, I apologize. So then your bottom hand is as close to the ischial tuberosity as it can get. So once you've landmarked there, you engage to the level of the muscles and pull away, and your hands will have a natural torsion to it. You don't need to focus so much about twisting your hands as much as just making sure you have a steady grip, and you slowly pull until you feel the restrictive barrier. And as it lets you go further, you just allow your hands to be a little bit more of a stretch.
Don't you not pull it though? Isn't it like you can press down the level of the tissue and then you lift? You don't pull first.
Like you compress and then your hands glide apart. And sometimes you might want to take the superior hand that's on the gluteal and sort of like give it a scoop up. So if you can use like the palm of your hand there, you get a scoop that gives a little bit of an extra push. And then you have your push, glide.
Good.
Yeah. Intramuscular technique is what to do. Yes. Pardon?
Okay, so,
Okay.
so why did we do that first? What was the purpose of that?
That was to release the insertion to sort of separate
the glute.
Right.
Can I actually get you into sidelines, please?
Sorry.
Okay. It's doing this with telecom, so you don't have to worry about racing stuff.
Is
Okay.
that just for like sciatic problems? That kind of lifts off the piriformis off?
It's not really getting the piriformis as much as just the inferior part of the gluteus max.
Yeah.
Oh.
No.
Okay.
Whatever.
No, please put the pillow there.
Okay.
You understand if you're doing this, that the pillow goes there, and what does the pillow do in the?
It supports her head.
Shortens
And
muscle.
it prevents you from pulling that way.
Can I just show? Because when that happens, see that? And then some people it creates too much strain to that LF area. Always be safe.
So it's a cross hands and intermuscular technique. And so you want to isolate the hamstrings. And there's a lot of superficial fascia, like adipose layers here. So it's sometimes a little bit hard to find.
Oh,
Yeah. So, and you want to make sure you're not grabbing the adductor magnus, which is right along the outside there, or the vastus lateralis, which goes there, but just the hamstrings in the middle. And it's a little bit harder just because of your pants, but once you've got it, you can sort of pull it forward and down away from the ischial tuberosity, and just pretty much in whatever direction you feel a restriction. So just playing around with it, seeing if it moves up, down, where the restriction is, and working that. You can add a little bit of an S-bend or C-bend to it, torsion. Is that a proper term, S-bend
Can I
or
just
torsion?
think, what do you mean by an S-bend?
I mean, like, what hand goes down and the other hand pulls up, so it creates like an S in the muscle length. Or C, I would just bring. Try to
That's
create.
optional, right? You don't have to.
That's right.
So, yeah, I would just
Yeah,
move the muscle however it could to create a little bit more movement there. And then you could work it as long as you could find the hamstrings to pick up.
Okay, now what if you couldn't find the hamstrings?
What if you couldn't?
Yeah, what would you do?
Natural test. Thank you.
What would help? What position could we help?
All right, you can
Yeah.
right, to shorten the muscle.
Yeah, yeah, and not always, it's always an advantage when you can, apply a little bit of slack, and then you could slowly lever her up. You didn't do that, but.
You could do the lever technique for this as well, if you had her in.
Good.
And
Great.
then- So, we'll just take her socks off. So just help her foot grip to the table there. And then also in this position, we're utilizing gravity just to create looseness in the muscle. And there we can come around and using the heel of your hands, find the hamstring. Just go alongside. And then you sort of lift them, pull them forward, down. Same movements as you had in side lie, but this is just a different position to try. And if you want, you can come up and get their heel and shoulder and find the point where the